What's up, everyone? Today we're going through celebrities who got banned from entire countries and the real reasons behind it. These are not drug arrests or DUIs. These are geopolitical, religious, and cultural bans. And once you see the full picture, you start to realize how much power governments actually have over the entertainment industry. Let's get into it. We have to start with China, because China has built the most consequential banned list in Hollywood history, and almost every name on it is there for the same reason: Tibet. China has controlled Tibet since 1950 and treats any foreign support for Tibetan independence as a direct political offense. Meet the Dalai Lama, say the word Tibet on stage, make a film that shows China in a bad light, you are gone from the Chinese market. And given that China is one of the biggest box office markets on the planet, that is not a small consequence. Harrison Ford has been banned since 1995. He testified before the US Senate in support of Tibetan independence, met personally with the Dalai Lama, and never walked it back. Indiana Jones 5 did not screen in China. 3 decades of one of Hollywood's biggest names completely locked out of the world's largest emerging market, and Ford has never once suggested he regrets it. Richard Gere went further. He was presenting an award at a major ceremony when he stopped, went off script, and publicly criticized China's occupation of Tibet in front of a global audience. Banned immediately. But the part that rarely gets talked about is what happened after studios became scared to cast him because they were worried his name on a project would cost them the Chinese market. His career took a real hit, not because of a scandal, because Hollywood decided one government's box office mattered more than one of its own actors. Gere has said this himself, and he continues his activism to this day. Brad Pitt did not even give a speech. He starred in 7 Years in Tibet in 1997, a film that depicted the Dalai Lama positively and Chinese military officers negatively. The state-run China Daily said Hollywood would never be forgiven. Pitt was banned for 17 years. The ban was eventually lifted in 2014 when he flew to China to do press for a film with Angelina Jolie. 17 years of punishment ended by a press tour. Bjork flew to Beijing, performed her song Declare Independence, and mid-concert started chanting Tibet into the microphone. The Chinese government said she broke the law. She was banned. She knew what she was doing, she did it anyway, and she accepted the consequence without apology. Selena Gomez posted a photo with the Dalai Lama on Instagram in 2012. It resurfaced years later. Chinese officials flagged it, and she had to cancel her entire revival tour in China. On top of that, Russia banned her in 2013 for publicly supporting gay rights. 2 countries, 2 bans. For meeting a Nobel Peace Prize winner and supporting equal rights. Lady Gaga met with the Dalai Lama in 2016. Her music was scrubbed from Chinese streaming platforms entirely. 1 meeting and she effectively ceased to exist on Chinese platforms. Katy Perry never said anything about Tibet directly, but in 2017, Chinese officials went through her history before approving her visa for the Victoria's Secret show in Shanghai. They found footage of her holding a Taiwanese flag at a concert in Taipei. They also flagged the sunflower pattern on her dress, which had become a symbol of anti-China protesters in Taiwan. Visa denied. Banned indefinitely. Miley Cyrus got banned in 2009 after a photo surfaced of her making a racially offensive gesture mocking an Asian man. China responded immediately. She has apologized for it. The ban has not been lifted. Jay-Z got banned because the Chinese government reviewed his lyrics and decided they were too vulgar. One of the most commercially successful artists in history banned because a government read his words and said no. Justin Bieber was banned after Beijing's Culture Bureau cited his overall bad behavior. The Anne Frank house comments, the monkey documentation issues, alleged graffiti in Brazil. China looked at the full file and decided his character did not meet the standard for entry. When China is the one holding you to a moral standard, something has gone sideways. Before we get into the next one, if you are finding this interesting, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more people. And drop in the comments which ban has surprised you the most so far. I am reading every single one. Okay, back to it. Snoop Dogg is a completely different category. His bans have nothing to do with politics. They are just a series of incidents across multiple decades that together paint a very specific picture. Norway, 2012. Drug dogs at the airport found 8 grams of marijuana in his luggage. He was also carrying more cash than legally permitted, fined the equivalent of about $8,000. Banned for 2 years. His lawyer told the press Snoop could live with the decision and had no plans to appeal. He performed at the festival first, then got the ban on the way out. United Kingdom, 2006. His entourage got into a confrontation at Heathrow after being denied an upgrade to first class. It escalated into a violent disorder involving damage to a duty-free shop. He was arrested and subsequently banned from the country. Australia, 2007. The Department of Immigration denied him entry, citing that he did not meet the character requirements for a visa. Australia has a formal character test, and Snoop failed it. They looked at his record and said, "Our standards exist, you do not meet them." Netherlands, similar reasoning, criminal and drug history, not welcome. 4 countries, 4 completely different reasons. And somehow he came out of all of it as the beloved Olympics correspondent that everyone was happy to see on NBC. That level of reputation, recovery, deserves its own video, honestly. Beyonce was banned from Malaysia. The government deemed her stage outfits too revealing under the country's cultural guidelines for female performers. She tried to return 2 years later. Cancelled again amid protests. This is part of a broader pattern in countries with strict religious governance. Female performers get banned not for anything they said, but for how they look on stage. Worth naming directly. Akon is banned from Sri Lanka because his video for Sexy Chick featured a pool party filmed in front of a Buddha statue. Sri Lanka found it deeply disrespectful. Permanent ban. Sacha Baron Cohen is banned from Tajikistan and Kazakhstan. Both countries watched Borat, took it personally, and barred him from entry. Understandable if you have seen Borat. The Beatles were banned from the Philippines in 1966 because they declined an invitation to breakfast at the presidential palace with First Lady Imelda Marcos. They skipped the breakfast. The government withdrew their police protection at the airport, letting crowds confront them as they tried to leave. Banned from the Philippines for not attending a breakfast. Morgan Freeman is on Russia's permanent sanctions list. After Congress passed economic sanctions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russia responded by banning nearly 1,000 Americans permanently, including Freeman, whose offense was narrating a video for an intelligence committee discussing Russian election interference. Russia decided the man who voiced God is a national security threat. Alec Baldwin was banned from the Philippines after making a joke about Filipino mail-order brides. One joke, immediate ban. Some of these bans make complete sense. Snoop at Heathrow, Miley's photo countries setting standards for who they let in, fair enough. But the China list is a different thing. It is a government using its market size to enforce global silence on a political issue. And it worked on studios, on casting directors, on the industry as a whole for years. The artists on this list who did not back down paid a real professional price. Ford, Gere, Bjork, Gomez. They knew the cost. They paid it anyway. That matters. Even if you think the strategy was wrong, even if you think they should have stayed quiet and used their platform differently, they looked at the price tag and said it was worth it. In an industry where the market almost always wins, that is not a small thing. So next time you are watching a celebrity perform somewhere and you think, wait, why have I never seen them in China? Or why did they cancel that tour? There is probably a story behind it. And it is almost never the story you think. Which one on this list genuinely shocked you? Drop it below. I want to know. And if you want the next deep dive the moment it drops, subscribe. New video coming very soon and you do not want to miss it. See you in the next one.